Next class, VW Pro. James Gould. Graham is number 2 qualified. James number 3. Dial-ins 1070 for Graham. 10 flat for James with a little VW powered altered. Oh, 10.01 for James. He moves into number 2, drops Graham to number 3 with that one. 10.64 there for Graham. But well done, James. Knocking on the door of the 9s. Next up, Ed Keach. He's with the Tango Golf alongside Abby Tether with Arthur Daly, the Golf R. Now, these two are 8 and 5 respectively. Dial-ins then. Ed, 12.20 with the orange Golf. 12.87 for the blue Golf. That's a 12.28 and a 12.97. Ed moves up to 4. Abby just drops one spot there. Max's ride in the 2-seater dragster. They're not fully booked today, so if you fancy going in the back of that, pot round and see Paul and the team with the 2-seater dragster, and they'll explain it all to you, go through what's involved and the prices and everything like that. But they are doing walk-ins today. And I'll tell you what, that is such a rare thing because they are normally booked up so far in advance. But because it's a quiet meeting, they're doing walk-ins today. Pop round and see the 2-seater team. Right, okay, this is big. Sam Young with the Beetle. Had a chat with the guys in the lanes after the event last night. They were delighted the way this car was going. It's just getting quicker and quicker. And they're dialing in 8.30 with this. And if they go and hit the 8.30, that'll be quicker than the old black car ever went. Oh, 8.41 at 162 miles an hour. A very stout pass indeed. Look at the speed as well, 162. That is really moving. They're still number 1 qualifier. Let's not forget 11.02. Sorry, don't be carried away looking at the black currant car. 11.02 from James. A nice run indeed as well. Right, Dave Crowhurst, Danielle Coppin. Yeah, James Hodson stayed, number 9. Right, Dave Crowhurst, number 8. Danielle Coppin, number 7. The Beetle dialing in 9.39. Danielle dialing in 12.21. 10.16 there for Dave, no improvement. Danielle goes 12.13, breakout, a bit too quick there for Danielle. So they stay 8 and 7 respectively.
Feeling like a bracket racer today?
I'm not allowed to pass this man. Don't pass Graham. Paul's going to open the door after the burnout just to remind me. I'm going to get in now with that in my head, and all will be fine.
Go ahead, Keach.
Yeah.
Are we feeling good?
Feeling good. Do some winning.
So that's the repairing done in easy mighty move to VW Pro. Eliminations. Sam Young, your number one qualifier, dials that 8:30. Going alongside Abby Tether, 12:90. 4.6 second head start to the Golf. And then it will be down to the electric Beetle of Sam Young to try and catch and pass Abby. Whoever wins this gets a bye in the next round. This is with interest, actually. I don't know whether that's a celebration or commiserations, but my goodness me, Sam Young, although he broke out and lost the race, he went 8:28, absolutely outstanding from the current team. 163 mile an hour pass there. I think that is their outright PB in any vehicle. It is, yeah. A huge congratulations. Sam has never been quicker down the quarter mile in anything than that. They lost, but they don't care. 12.92, the win there. But for Abby. But well done to the current team. A new PB, 8:28. Right, Dave Crowhurst, Graham Fairhead. It's one of those runs where Sam could have clicked it because he crossed the line first, 0.36 of a second ahead. But he was on one and he didn't want to give it up. Oh, Graham Fairhead goes red. That is real unusual. The champ from last year goes red. He's knocked himself out in round one. Dave Crowhurst takes the win with a 9.95. They both broke out as well. But it is Dave Crowhurst that is through to round number two. Right, well that's put a cat amongst the pigeons a bit, isn't it? Right, Ed Keach taking on James Hodson. Now, I seem to remember the last time out at Bug Jam, Ed Keach was number one in the points, Graham Fairhead was number two, and they met in round one. Graham Fairhead went, shall we say, a fair bit further, but now Graham is out in round one. Can Ed go through? Tough customer though with James. Oh, but James Hodson goes red. Oh, Ed Keach, perhaps it's his chance to make hay while the sun shines. 12-11 breakout, that doesn't matter. He'd already got the win. So the comeback for Ed Keach then. Next pair, Danielle Coppin, James Gould. Danielle 12.15 with the Golf. James 10 flat with the altered. I don't want James to break out, but if he does, he'll be in the nines, and that would be fantastic. Again, another one of those sort of win-win, lose-win situations. Oh, staging duel. Nobody wants to go in. Someone's got to flinch eventually. Danielle looks like she's flinched. The brake lights are going on and off. James just sitting there waiting. Oh, there we go. Danielle goes in. James has to build up boost to then go in. Off they go. Gaps closing at the stripe, and the win light goes to James Gould. Takes that with a 10.04 to lose at 12.22. Right, VW Sportsman. Got Steve Metcalf down there with the Beetle. Dialing in a 16.48. And John Gallant with the Audi TT. 16.30 dial in for him. So not much between them on the tree. Oh, difficult one to pick this one actually, John. Like he's got his nose in front. But he breaks out, goes too quick. So Steve Metcalf takes the win. John got there comfortably first by nearly half a second, but he should have been on the brakes by then. But that's racing. Next up, Nigel Gregson, Paul Robinson. Paul Robinson took the #1 qualifier with a brilliant 477. That's what he's sticking with. Going alongside Nigel Gregson with the Golf. So it will be Paul leaving first. Whoever wins this gets a bye in round 2. Oh, a double breakout, but by the lesser amount. Paul Robinson takes that. 400s breakout for Nigel, but only 300s breakout for Paul. So it's Paul that takes it. Very close indeed. Right, Hazel Carter and Nigel Gregg next up. It's the Turpitz BMW taking on Patricia the Passat. 1569 dial-in for Nigel. He'll be leaving first, and then it'll be down to the Passat to try and close a pass and take the win. That is a breakout for Nigel. Got there first, but went too quick. So it is Hazel Carter that takes the win. 14.57, good enough. Martin Ayton and Tom Circuit, your next pair. Tom held on to that #1 spot for ages in quali, but just got pipped by Paul Robinson in the end. The dial-ins end, 18.23, place 15.80. Tom will be leaving first. Right, race on, green light, both sides. Let's just see who's going to be bravest at the top end. 8.23 hits his number bang on, but the reaction time led him down there. 15.82. Martin Ayton takes the win on a hole shot. Right, next up, Lorraine Large. Taking on Connor Jones. He's praying already. Right, so Connor Jones will be leaving first with the Passat. And that'll be down to Lorraine to chase and catch. Well, Connor still out in front. Here comes Lorraine. Wow. 17.09 with a 1. Hits his number. Absolutely bang on. Actually, there's nothing Lorraine could have done about that. She got there second and broke out. But well done to Connor. He goes through. All right, Polly and Reese. Polly dialing in 16.41. Reese dialing in 14.50. It will be the yellow TT leaving first. Reese will try and close the gap. All right, both away. Polly's on the brakes and takes it. 16.58. Right, next up, pick your yellow car then. It is the Lupo taking on the Beetle. Caelan Wilson with the misdemeanor Havoc car down there. Taking on Reese Finney. Right, Oh, they both dial in the same number. I wonder if they pre-planned that. So no head start, no advantage. Just whoever can get to the top end first, because they'll be leaving the, well, not going to leave the line together, but the tree will run at the same time. So whoever gets the best reaction time has an advantage, because they, in a funny sort of way, control the race. Well, the more experienced racer, believe it or not, is Caitlin, but the more experienced in VW sportsman is Reese. It's just that Caitlin's had a huge career in junior dragster before. Well, somebody's got to get there first. Difficult one to call, this one. It's a breakout for Caitlin, goes a bit too quick. So it is Reese Finney that takes that one. He goes through into round number 2. Danny Bean and Jake Hall, your next pair. Just 4 pairs to go in VW Sportsman. And then it will be Outlaw Anglia. I'm not quite sure what the issues with Jake, but there we go. So Darlin's End, 1660 for Jake, 1460 for Danny. So the Audi will be leaving first. Oh, went way too soon there. That was a massive red light. So it is Danny Bean that will be going through into round number 2, regardless of what ET he runs. See, John Crawford's been busy with his dial-in marker out there. He says, "Be very quiet. I'm hunting wabbit." Going alongside Jerry Sadler. Right, 1650 is the dial-in for John. 1568 for Jerry. Steve Metcalf awaits the winner of this pairing. Breakout's a pair, but the lesser breakout goes to John Crawford. He goes through 1643, lose out 1551. Right, Bruce Harvey, Phil Jones, 2 very experienced VW Sportsman racers, but Bruce not in the normal Greenpeace Golf, so he's in the backup Audi. Phil Jones in his normal ride, the Dragon Wagon A3. $17.80, not quite good enough. $15.03 takes the win there for Phil. Right, this should be the last pair. And it's the Menopause Audi taking on the Golf. So Karen Waterhouse dials in 15 flat. Andrew Bambrick, 1361. Both going into pre-stage. A few 4 inches further forward and they'll be into stage. There's Karen and then Andrew in pursuit. Well, it looks like Andrew is almost drawing alongside at 1,000 foot. But he breaks out, but Karen breaks out by a bigger margin, so it is Andrew that takes the win. All right, we move on to VW Pro. Ed Keach dialing in 12.10, James Gould dialing in 10. Well, Ed's got his nose in front, but here comes James with the top end charge. And the win light goes to James Gould. 10.08. He takes that from a lose out 12.40 from Ed. Well, that puts James into the semis and he gets a bye into the final. All right, Abby Tether, predetermined bye here. Dials 1290. Gets a 1289 with a 7. Right, Dave Crowhurst on a solo. And it will be Dave taking on Abby in the semi-finals of VW Pro. And then you've got James Gould, who's going to go through on a solo. Well, it doesn't really matter what Dave runs here. But for the record, it was a 10.23, 131. Right, VW Sportsman up next. Eliminations round number 2 for them. John Crawford and Steve Metcalf. Identical dial-ins just to make life interesting. 16.50 a pair. Whoever moves first will probably have the reaction advantage and have an advantage at the stripe. Was slightly visible who moved first. But it's all about the finish line. And it's John Crawford that takes that on a whole shot. 16.61 to a lose out 16.54. So the Craw Dog goes on. Polly Judge and Reese Finney. 16.41 plays 17.35. The Lupo will be going first. It's up to Polly to try and catch and pass. And, well, Polly got there first, but she breaks out, goes a little bit too quick. So it is Reese Finney that goes through. Number 1 qualifier. Paul Robinson gets a bye here. Dials are 14.77. And he'll take it all the way through. Wants to find out what the car's going to do. Nicely off the line with the 0-2 reaction time. I can't read reaction times out when you have a pair. Some of them have in-car radio and they just listen to commentary and realise what they've done, and it gives them an advantage to have that information. So that's why we don't tell anybody the reaction times until after the race. Unless they're on a solo, then we can. And Paul Robinson goes 14.71, so he may adjust the dial in next time round. Andrew Bambrick with the Golf down there, dialing in 13.51. And that's a 15.80 from Martin Ayton with Homer's Revenge, the backup car, the Polo. 2.29 second difference on the tree. Martin will be going first. This one, it's a 15.55 breakout for Martin. It's a 13.30 breakout there for Andrew, but by the lesser amount, Andrew takes that one. When both cars go under their dial-in, it's whoever goes under by the least that takes the win, and that's what happened there. All right, Connor Jones and Phil Jones. Now, I'm not sure if they're related, but they're both from rugby. Might be a bit of a clue there. 1709 plays 1490. So it will be Connor who'll be leaving first. No, he normally has a 1969 Beetle that he runs, but that white pearl car not in race ready mode at the moment, so he's in the Passat. Well, so Connor's out in front, and he takes it with a 17.20. Lose out there, 14.88 breakout. Nothing Phil could have done about that. Last pair, Danny Bean and the Hazel Carter. 14.60 plays 14.50. Only a tenth between them on the tree. And Hazel take that's one with a 14.68 to a breakout. Danny, again, it's one of those that Danny couldn't do anything about that. 2/10 advantage off the line for Hazel. Right, VW Sportsman. This is where we set the semis, just 3 races here. (1709) plays 14.71. Connor Jones, Paul Robinson. Eventually, Paul goes in. And the win light goes to Paul Robinson, 15.06 against a 17.44. Both are quite a way off the dial-ins, but it is Paul Robinson that continues. John Crawford and Andrew Bambrick, pick your golf here. Important one this, because the winner goes into the semis where a bye run awaits straight through to the final and a trophy. Andrew Bambrick, that's going to the semis. He wins that by 0.6 at the strike. John Crawford 16.76 on that 16.50, but 13.55 good enough for Andrew to get the job done. Last pair, Hazel Carter and Reese Finney. I can only assume Hazel's car is wounded with a 22.50 dial-in, and she didn't leave the line under any acceleration whatsoever. So she was here purely to for the points. And Reese is slowing down in sympathy, I think. But no, Reese has got that one. Yep, 20.37 for the win. Well done, Reese. But Hazel, the car definitely wounded. Actually gets timed out. Commiserations to the Carter family. All right, VW Pro semis. Abby Tether and Dave Crowhurst. Dave sounds a little bit wounded there. The dial-in of 10.15. So just sorting out Abby's dial-in, I think. Yep, 1287. I couldn't quite see it clear enough. The sun really, really bright in the tower, actually. Well, that sounded like a second gear launch to me. Oh, Abby Tether breaks out by less than 100th of a second. Dave Crowhurst gets the win. An unexpected win, but a win is a win. All right, this is going to be James Gould booking his spot in the final. He's got a bye run here. And James takes that, obviously, with a 10.13, 130 mile an hour pass there. Paul Robinson taking on Reese Finney. 17.35 plays 14.77. It's going to be the Looper going first. And then last year's champion, the defending champion, Paul Robinson, going to try and close it down. Well, big wheel spin off the line for Reese. But it's all about the stripe. Can't choose this one. It is a breakout for Reese Finney. Goes too quick. So it is Paul Robinson that goes into the final. Reese got there first, but Paul Robinson didn't break out. Andrew Bambrick just needs to break the beams and he'll be into the final, which he duly does. Right, 3 classes to go to set our finals. We've got Sportsman ET in the lanes. And then it's just ET bike and Com bike to set finals. In is VW Pro. Gonna be Dave Crowhurst taking on James Gould. Well, fair to say that Dave Crowhurst was a little bit lucky to get into the final. He does have a wounded stick down there. Going to be taking on James Gould. Adjustment of the dial-in actually for James, 10:13. Dave Crowhurst. Big adjustment for Dave actually, 10:15. Well, it's a good looking race actually to be fair. And the win light goes to Dave Crowhurst. Takes that on a whole shot, if you like. 0-1 at the stripe, 10:20 on a 10:15 dial. James Gould dialed 10:13, went 10:14. But Dave Crowhurst, what a race for him, takes the win. And of course, a victory trophy. This is what they all want. All right, VW Sportsman. Paul Robinson and Andrew Bambrick. 1488 dial in for Paul. Andrew dials 1341. Right, both into pre-stage. Andrew goes in, Paul goes in, the tree counts him down. Paul gets the green light, and so does Andrew. In fact, Andrew drawing alongside Paul. Near yes. And take the win with a 13.63. Paul got there second and broke out. It's a massive reaction time advantage there for your winner, Andrew Bambrick, who takes VW Sportsman for the win.